let's start. So what we covered yesterday, we have tested a couple of scenarios, and we have seen what is kernel port and what is port group, and how you can configure the additional switches within the ESXi. Okay, and how you can provide high availability for your workloads within the virtual area. Means how you can assign two different cables for each switch, so that if one goes bad, another one will help us to access the machines over the customer network or over the source might be across the globe. Somewhere the customer is sitting somewhere at the corner. Okay, so these are the things that we covered so far. Okay, also there are a couple of things that we need to understand here. Okay, first thing, what is the difference between this switch and this switch? I'm saying this is physical switch, this is virtual switch. So what is the difference between these two? Anyone? Hmm? Sorry. Okay, so what is the difference between L2 and L3 switch? Okay, what is the difference between L2 and L3 switch? L2 switch does switching only. This means that uses MAC address to switch the packets from a port to source port to destination port. If it therefore maintains a MAC address table so that it can remember which port has which MAC address associated. Okay, L3 also does the switching exactly like a L2 switch. L3 means that has an identity from the L3 layer. Practically, this means that L3 switch is capable of having IP address and doing routing as well. Okay, so we'll keep this statements aside. Blindly, you can remember L2 means this is L2 switch. Okay, this is L3 switch. L3 switch, layer 2 switch, layer 3 switch. Layer 2 works on MAC to MAC. Layer 2 works on MAC to MAC data transfer. Okay, and layer 3 works on IP address. Understood? At least remember, virtual switches are L2 switches and physical switches are L3 switches. Simple and clear? Okay, now I need to understand in which situation L2 will work and in which situation L3 will work in VMware world. Okay, let's understand some scenario. So let me clear this off. I'll try to build one more scenario out of this. So remember the same host I'm talking about. I have one host. Okay, and remember there is one switch. Okay, so L3 means might be 1 or n, means you might imagine multiple switches or imagine one switch, doesn't matter. Okay, two cables connected to two different switches, and I have created one more switch, right, for port groups. This is for kernel port. So it has two different cables again connected to some right? Imagine this is not a single switch, it has a multiple switches, but all are connected together. Okay, now I have one more cable and which is connected to my laptop, and this is ESXi host 192.168.30.51, and this kernel port holds the same IP, right? 192.168.30.51. Now let's imagine I have few virtual machines here. Right, three different virtual machines, but imagine I have only two port groups. One port group is here, another port group is here. Two different port groups. Now what I will do, I'll connect this, I'll connect, understood? I don't want to confuse. I guess color coding will help you. Okay, now what is this? VLAN 10. And what is this? The port group name is VLAN 20. Okay, and my original host is on VLAN 30. That's a different story. Okay, so can we assign some IP addresses to these three machines? Yes, we can. So what I will do, I will assign one IP address. 192, sorry, I don't want to confuse it. Yeah, 192.168.10.55 101. Okay, and for this, what kind of IP we should assign? 192.168.10.201. Can I assign? Right? Okay, and for this 192.168.20.55 or 50. Fair enough? Three servers, three different IPs. Okay, so scenario is something like this. Let me go to Notepad++ from my laptop. If I want to, what is my laptop IP? Sorry, this is my laptop IP, right? From my laptop, from here, ping, sorry, reach to, let me assign some naming as well. Windows, just to imagine easily understanding, is not actually, I'll not deploy any Windows or Linux servers, but imagine two Windows server on one Linux server. Okay, so Windows 1, what is the IP? 192.168.10.101. If I want to reach to Windows 2, right, which is 192.168.10.201, right? 101 and 201. Perfect. So can you explain me how the traffic is moving? If I want to reach this as well, reach to Linux 1, which is 192.168.20.50, Yeah, 20.50. So from my laptop, if I want to reach to these three servers, how the traffic will go? There is no other alternative way. Traffic will go to L3 switch, then go to L2 switch. Okay, then reach to.
Code
Agree on this? Agree on this statement?
VLAN 10. Yeah.
Hmm?
Yes, yes.
Means simply if I am trying to reach from here to any of these three, so it should go to L3, then it should go to L2, right? Let me write it down something. vSphere standard switch, which is L2. Okay, so first it will reach L3, then it will reach L2 and to the respective destination via the port group. Okay, clear? You want me to test this? Let's test this. L2 will not come into picture. It will reach, it will show you L3. What is this L3? L3 has a gateways. So from my laptop, first it should go to gateway and then it should go to respective server. Let's try to test this. Okay, so my vCenter, because this only works in DNS. So there is no other alternative option. I have to log in via domain controller only, or else I need to join my laptop into the same domain controller. Okay, so let me delete one server because what we are trying to do here, I'll explain. Okay, done. So minimize this. What I need to do, let's check switch 1 kernel port, switch 2 VLAN 10 and 20, right? So I have same configuration like this. Okay, now I need to deploy two Windows and one Linux, remember. So what I will do, I'll simply give the naming, even though they are not actually the Windows or Linux machines. Windows server 1. Next, in which VLAN I need to place this Windows server?
VLAN 10.
Yes. Next, if you come down, network adapter, it is already in VLAN 10 only. So no need to worry. Simply next, finish. So Windows server 1 is created. Okay, so let me clone this again. Clone means exactly same copy. It will create exactly same copy. Windows server 2, right? VLAN 10, finish. And let me create one more clone, or else I can simply rename it, but I don't want to do that. Linux server 1 under this host. So this I need to put it on VLAN 20, right? So select, browse, VLAN 20. Finish. So I have 3 servers. So I don't require this web server anymore. This is yesterday's scenario testing. So delete from disk. Gone. Now let me do one thing. Software, VMware, 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 and see, yeah, remote management console. Just give me one moment, man. Someone came in. Just give me one moment. Okay, let's resume. So what I'm doing, I'm installing this remote console. The purpose of remote console is the cursor within the web console will not function properly. So let's try to install this. Finish. Now I have 3 VMs, right? So I have virtual machines. I'll select all or on at a time. Okay, all the machines are powered on. Now if I want to log in, go to respective machine. So select the remote console this time. Don't select the web console, select the remote console and see if it, yeah, see it will automatically launch the remote console which I have installed. So in this, if you look at the mouse will work at least something. Somehow you can manage mouse functionality. So this is Linux server 1. I can launch all the servers at the same time. Hello. This is Windows Server 1. Minimize. Windows Server 2. Okay. So I have all the 3. Minimize this. So let me come to I have 3 servers, right? So I'll ping all the 3 from here. So ping 192.168.10.101, 192.168.10.201, ping 192.168, 20.50, right? These are the 3 servers which I want to configure. As of now, I haven't assigned any IP address. That is the reason you are unable to reach them from my laptop. So let's go and assign the IP address. So automatically they started pinging. Go to Linux server. Okay. So what is the IP? 192.168.20.50, right? And the gateway, 10.1, right? Strange. Just a moment. Let's see if it is working. See, they started pinging, right? They started pinging. And for other servers, we're still not getting the output. Let's go ahead and assign the IP address for other servers as well. 192.168 Windows Server 1 10.101. So let's move. Okay, finally got it. Man, let me assign this IP and somehow, yeah, assigned. So close this out, close this out. Second server started pinging, right? Let me assign to the third server as well. What happened? Okay, 192. 168 10.201, right? And now ping google.com. Yes, now it's reaching google.com also. Now let's see. All the three servers are pinging from outside. Means go to the picture. From my laptop, it is going to switch. From switch, it is going to the respective VMs. Okay, let's see. What I will do, I'll cancel this. Trace route 192.168.10.10. Trace route. So it goes to switch. 1.100 is my switch. Obviously, it goes to switch and then it goes to the destination. Same with this as well. And same this. Right? Same. And for this also, it should be the same. Means in all the cases, it is reaching to the L3 switch, then it is going to the destination. You getting my point? There is no other path. There is no other path. Now I want to ping from this to this and this. Means from here I want to ping this machine and this machine. Now tell me how the traffic will travel. Any guesses?
First, uh, first, that go port group and directly go 10.201, and when we ping from for 20.50, it's go port group, then switch EL3, and then uh, 20.50.
Okay. Any specific reason?
Uh, cause not in same
VLAN.
VLAN.
Exactly. Yes. Okay. So remember, Vivek, listen carefully. So if the VM, both the VMs are on same host and on same VLAN, means same port group or same VLAN. Okay. So if both the VMs, irrespective, it might be a Linux, doesn't matter. Okay. So if the both the VMs are on same VLAN or on the same host, okay, then the traffic flow will be at L2 level only. MAC to MAC data transfer will happen. Okay. If the two VMs are on a same host, these two VMs, the blue one and the red one, on the same host, but they are on different VLANs or different port groups, then the traffic will go to L3 and come back like this. You understood what I'm saying? So can I start pinging from 101?
Actually, I have one doubt.
Yeah.
We put a default gateway address as 192.168.10.1,
Yes.
and tracing it out, we got
100, right?
100.1.100, I guess.
So what is the IP for this?
So
192, 168, 1.20. What is the gateway for 1.1 series? 1.100,
1 dot.
right? For my laptop, gateway is 1.100. You want to see? Go to my laptop and put IP config. What is my gateway? For
So
my
this
laptop,
is for L3 switch now.
yeah, for my laptop, gateway is 1.100. You understood?
Okay, this we only just for sake we have
Your voice
for
is not
saying it is
audible, man.
10.1.
Your
It's
voice
not
is not
actually.
audible. Your voice is not audible.
Hello.
Yeah, can you be a
Hello.
bit louder, please?
Uh, am I audible now?
Yes. Tell
So
me.
actually it is not 10.1. Just for saying we wrote there as 10.1.
No,
Actually
no,
it
no, no,
is
no. Hang on.
1.100.
Hang on. 10.1 is also the same gateway. 20.1 is also the same gateway. 1.100 is also the same gateway. The same thing I explained you in the last video. Last session. No, no, no. Before the last session. I guess on
Okay.
Wednesday. Understand the physical networking before you start the learning the VMware networking. Watch that video.
Yeah,
I've,
yeah.
I've explained you clearly all the gateways are configured in a same switch. So if I'm trying to
Okay.
reach somewhere from my laptop will send my laptop's gateway. What is my laptop's gateway? 1.100. Once it reaches here,
Not
it is switch's responsibility how it want to send the data. That is the reason.
okay.
That is the reason when I said from my laptop, if I'm sending a data to destination, first it's sent to my laptop's gateway. Once it reaches there, it is their responsibility to send further. Clear?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now the second scenario testing. The second scenario testing is from one of the VM, which is 192.168.10.101 Windows Server 1. From Windows Server 1, if I want to reach to Windows Server Windows Server 2. What is IP? 192.168.10.201. So remember, this will be L2 traffic. If I want to reach to Linux Server 1, what is IP? 192.168.20.50, right? This will be L3 traffic, means request goes to main physical switch and come back. You getting my point? For the second one. Okay, and what else? Reach to laptop 192.168.1.20 from this will be again L3 traffic. It's fair and simple. From here, if I want to reach my laptop, the request will come here and it will come here and it will come here. That means it is passing through L3. So there's no point of discussion here on this, especially, right? But these two I need to test from my Windows Server 1, from one of the VM, which is Windows Server 1 to Windows Server 2, and from Windows Server 1 to Linux Server 1, 2 pings. So let me go to Windows Server 1. This is like Windows Server 2. So from Windows Server 2, if you look at, traffic is going to google.com. Okay, I'll keep this running, and Windows Server 1. Strange, man, this console is not working properly, but see, we'll try our level best. Okay, so okay, ping from Windows Server 1 to whom I need to ping? 192.168.10.201. 201 is Windows Server 2. It's pinging. Something. Just a moment. Let me go to full screen. And where is my mouse? Somehow I got it. So I don't want to miss this. Let me to open one more terminal. Ping 192.168.20.50, right? Now if you look at, I'm trying to ping both the machine from server 1. Okay, now tell me, out of these two, which traffic is L2 and which traffic is L3? Which traffic is L2 and which traffic is L3?
Upper one is L2 and
Okay,
the lower one is L3.
L3. Perfect. So how to make sure it is not going to the main switch, or how to test whether it is going to main switch or not? What is the test? Let's go ahead and do the quick test. So you are saying, let me, from this, it will go like this, and again it will come, it will go like this, correct? This is in between these two L3, in between these two L2. Agree or disagree? L2 means traffic will come here and it will come here. That's it. So what happened? Let me do some tweaking. If I cut these two cables, which traffic should stop? This L3 traffic should stop, but still these two machines, they should communicate with each other over L2. Agree or disagree? Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Able to understand or not?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So,
they will connect.
right, these two should ping and these two should stop. If I disconnect these
Stop.
two cables,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So means if I go to this console, if I disconnect the cables, the below one should stop and the above one should keep on going, right? So sequence number 154, it is keep on counting, right? It is also keep on counting sequence. So what I will do, I will go to this host and disconnect these two cables. How to do that? Let's see. Go to my host. This is my host. Okay. And edit settings. I'll disconnect. First, I'm not sure which one is hardware coding over there. So I'll simply disconnect this, right? Now you see 203, it stopped at 203 and it is still going on 271, 72, 73. You see, stopped at 203. Means, let me show you. Go to host and go to switch. Outgoing paths are disconnected. Now you have two machines on VLAN 10. These two are communicating over L2 switch. Okay, understood? So this is coming and it's going like this. And one more thing, you're trying to ping one more. This is going like this and it's dropped here. So it cannot, it should actually go to main switch and come back to this host. But it dropped here itself because it is unable to send the traffic to outside world because I disconnected both the cables. Able to understand or confusion? You want me to explain in a different way?
Yes, I understand.
Got it.
Okay, so if I connect it again, 345, see it's keep on going 203. So if I go back and if I connect the cables once again, you should see the traffic is moving again. Man, come on. So let me connect all of them. Save and come to here. See, sequence 203 and again started at 324. In between 203 and 324, you have a many ping loss because that is disconnected from the network. Clear? On the L2, L3, L3, in which situation L2 will come into picture and in which situation L3 will come into picture. Whenever there is a VLAN change or port group change or inter VLAN data transfer is required, you can say, then traffic will go to main switch. Whenever there is whenever there is a requirement, both the VMs are running on the same host, on the same VLAN, then there will be a internal traffic route over L2 over MAC2. So, and also imagine for each and every virtual machine you create and attach the network adapter, virtual network adapter, it will randomly generate one unique network adapter ID. You call it as MAC address, right? So the algorithm is written in a such a way, it will generate unique MAC addresses within the scope, and vCenter also supports around 65,000 MAC addresses, unique MAC addresses for your environment. Clear? Any
Yes.
any questions up to this? Understand the L2 and L3 difference?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want to create one more port group, VLAN 40. How to do that? If I get a new requirement, I should create a new port groups, right? How to create it? Just repeating the yesterday steps once again. So go to the specific host, go to networking, go to specific host, configure network switches and add networking port groups. Next, browse existing switch, switch 1, switch 0 is for kernel, so switch 1 is for port groups. Next, VLAN 40, and you mention the VLAN ID manually. Next, finish. So you see, it is keep on growing. The switch will keep on growing as long as you add multiple port groups, and all the port groups will send the data via cables, these two cables, right? So there is a small topic here, let's discuss before we close for today. Okay, I'm talking about physical switch. I'm talking about physical switch. So let's take this physical switch. What physical switch contains? The ports, right? Right? You have a physical ports.
Yes.
I forgot this. I should have explained this in a first session itself. It's fine, no problem. So now we got the scenario into picture. So we'll discuss this now. Now I have one ESXi server. How many cables I connected? Imagine 4 NIC cards I have, right? And
Yeah.
I connected these two like this and these two like this, right? So I created one switch here. Which switch? Kernel port. And I created another switch here. And okay,
This is by default, no?
the current scenario, man, don't confuse. There is no default or manual or automated configurations. What we have in our lab, I'm trying to explain it in a different way. Can you see this? Can you see this? The same thing in a pictorial
Yeah.
notation I'm representing. You have any confusion here? There is nothing default. It is up to you how you want to design the things. No, why should I use all these things? Can't you use both the here? It is up to you. What I'm saying is best practice. Okay? VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 40. Right? Now, these two are connected like this. So, what is IP for this? 192.168.30.51. Now, I have 3 VMs. I have 3 VMs connected like this, and I have one kernel port. You know what kind of IPs we can assign? You know the ranges now, right? I'm not going to represent all these things here. Now I want to understand few things here. So from my laptop, I'm trying to reach ESXi host. I'm trying to reach ESXi host. Okay, so if I ping ESXi host from my laptop, it goes to switch. So imagine from my laptop, one cable I have connected here. Agree? So if I
Yes.
reach, if I want to reach ESXi host, traffic will come here via this port. It will go to this port and it will go to destination like this. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Okay. Now I'm trying to ping VM1 which is on VLAN 10. So again, this goes to the same via same switch, and this time it will go
That's good.
like this.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm trying to reach one more Windows server which is on VLAN 20. Again, the request came in like this, and it goes to same, but it goes to via same switch via cable 20, and VLAN 40. Again, same path. Once it reaches here, it goes like this. Agree or disagree?
Agreed.
Okay. So now tell me, from this port, how many VLANs data is passing?
No.
Hmm? Hello.
That. Hello.
Speak out, man. At least be interactive. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, yes, I'm able to hear you. My question is, from that particular port, how many VLANs data it will allow?
I think that is only dedicated to kernel port now. So that won't route to VLAN.
Sorry? Bit louder, bit louder. It's okay. Even
That
if you
is
say
that is
blunder, even if you say blunder mistake, that's fine. Even I'm not the 100% perfect in VMware, right? So what I know, I'm
that
just teaching
is
you,
yeah. I think that is dedicated to kernel port.
right? And
We doesn't
it will
allow
only
any
accept
VLAN.
VLAN 30, right? It can't send or receive VLAN 40, 50, 10, 20, 200, 290, whatever the
Yes.
VLAN that you mentioned, right? So
Yeah.
whenever you see such a requirement, is there any requirement to send VLAN 10 data, VLAN 10 data on this cable? There is no
No.
requirement. Is there any requirement to send 50 VLAN data? No, right?
No.
So in this situation, this port is designed in such a way it should send or receive only one VLAN data, right? It should
Right.
only allow go out one VLAN data, which is VLAN 30. So this port you call it as access port. Access port. I'm sorry, access port. And imagine in this scenario, from here, how many VLANs data is it is passing? N number of VLANs, because in this switch, if I have a 200 VLANs, I said you need to create a 200 VLANs here or 200 port groups here. Understood?
Yes.
Means
Right.
how many VLANs data that this port should allow? This or this? Both. I'm not talking about only one cable. These two should allow all the VLAN's data, right? So
Yes.
Right.
technically, I'll say these two ports as trunk ports. Trunk ports. Okay, trunk port means allowing more than one VLAN data. Simple. In network terminology, network, if you are in a purely network domain or network guy, so
As a BTP.
you will not use trunk port here. You will not use trunk port term. What they will say, you have a switch and you have one more switch here. Okay, you are extending all the VLANs here. If you are extending all the VLANs here, you will connect one cable from this to this, right? This port and this port you will convert as a trunk port, so that how many number of VLANs you have here, they will all present here in network terminology. That is different story. So in VMware, for my better understanding, what I'll do, if I'm allowing multiple VLANs from one particular port, I'll call that port as a trunk port. If I'm allowing only one VLAN data, I'll call it as access port. Let me show you. Okay, so 192, 168, 100. Few things I will also forget, man. So just apologies for that, because I'll move here and there. This is actually physical terms. I should have completed in the day before session. Day before yesterday session. Okay, so I'll say port to VLAN. You'll see all our VLANs are trunk mode. Means if I go to get started, statistics, system summary, these are the ports. But I have 1, 2, 3 cables up and running. Means 3 cables I have connected. Rest of them all offline. Right? No destinations or cables are not connected here. 3 active. If I go to VLAN to port mapping, I'll say all are trunk mode. All the ports, physical ports, means you can control each and every port, man. Okay, so all are in trunk mode. And how many VLANs? Port to VLAN membership. If I go to port to VLAN membership, for every port, I have added all the VLANs except the one. This is default one, administrative, and I've left it for only one VLAN. Rest all accepted. T means tagged member. You'll see somewhere. T means tagged member. So VLAN 10 is tagged, 20 is tagged, 30 is tagged, 40, 50, 60. Everything is tagged. Administrative VLAN, operational VLAN. I'll not go into in detail on the network aspects, but remember the basic difference. Why you need these things? Because your VMware should support multiple VLANs or multiple port groups. For that, you need to do certain changes on the physical network as well. Understood? Or any questions up
Yes.
to this? Any questions up to this?
Great.
All right. So let me stop here.